God damn.
Man, he did it again. He's done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Goddamn is right. What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing here today on your Friday? How is everybody doing here today on your Friday evening, man? It is at a special start time, but thank you guys so very much for joining us. If you guys are here, thank you guys as always, man. You know we love you guys being here, and thank you for working with the special start time here today. So, without any further ado, how is everybody doing? And welcome back to another edition of your Friday news. This is episode 249. We are 1 week away from episode 250 of NHP, man. That is crazy work. But like I said, man, how's everybody doing? And thank you guys for joining us. If this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we're on here after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted. Every Friday, we are on here with the news, normally at 4 p.m. Central. And for the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW, we are live directly after the show goes off the air, man. So, if you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, that is WWE debuts PENTA. We have some news on Mr. PENTA here today, and if you guys did miss that, that is episode 230, I believe, of Unscripted. Yes, that is episode 230 of Unscripted. You guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single Monday after Monday Night Raw for NHP Unscripted, man. So, also, a little bit of a different route here for what's normally next. Normally we promote the next chapter design for our merch. However, as you guys can see on your screen, we have a remaster design of the next chapter design, which is available now on bonfire.com for you guys, man. We got rid of the old one, man, so the old one will be going away. It'll be available till like later tonight, and then, you know, by tomorrow morning, the old one will be taken down. We wanted to just put the whole entire logo on the back of the shirt rather than just a giant skull. So yes, going forward, this will be the next chapter design, the remastered next chapter design, This will be the remastered next chapter design for NHP, man. So if you guys haven't got a chance to get your hands on some of the merchandise, you guys can now pick this bad boy up on bonfire.com. That is link at the top of the description of this very video, man. So yes, head to Bonfire, grab yourself some of the hottest merch in all the IWC, and maybe some more to come, man. So, with all that, that is the remaster design for the next chapter. And yes, I hope you guys do enjoy it, man. So with all that, man, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man. We don't know what's going on in his head, but we know he's here. We got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling out, man. Been chilling out. It was a pretty normal week and just waiting, for the Rumble and all that upcoming stuff and just been chilling and waiting, man. I'm excited for today. And I'm just doing good, man. Just been chilling. I like to rock. They always ask, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing in the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. I am doing great. Yeah, just chilling, dude. Just chilling, bro. And yeah, that's about it, dude. That's about it. Just chilling, bro. Just getting ready for the Rumble season, man. Getting ready for a couple fun weekends here. So, yeah, that's basically about it for me, man. That is basically about it. But yeah, that's that. That is, yeah, nothing too much, bro. Nothing too much.
Feel
But
that?
what's up?
I feel that.
Oh, I know you do. But um, as Durant always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, and my man Hunter? How the hell are you guys doing? And thank you guys so very much for joining us here today, Hunter. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for the compliment on the shirt. And yeah, that is that. That is that, man. And yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate it very much,
Thank you
bro. We
guys.
appreciate it very
Great
much. So
shirt.
yes.
Thank you guys.
Yes, so that will be available probably about as soon as we go off air here today. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um. All right. Well, to do this very quickly because this could be the last or second to last all elite crate we ever get. I did cancel mine, but they have a weird cancellation system where there's a possibility they could send you another one. I think that's what happened to
Oh,
Sir K this time. So
no, that's what happened to you. Yeah, that's what happened to me this time, and that's what just happened to you. So
gotcha.
you're gonna get one more.
All
I'm not.
right. Well, I'm going to get one more, and I'm not excited about it because I'm going to cut this bad boy open. Let me grab my knife here.
I already cut mine open.
Come on, dude. You're jumping the gun.
Mm,
You're taking it head on.
okay. Okay, reading the card. This looks interesting.
Really? Do I finally get my fucking Swerve Strickland shirt?
You do not, but I don't think you'll be that upset.
What the fuck? Okay. All right. Opening up the goodies. Do I get a Ray Phoenix shirt?
I wish.
All right. The spoiler card. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
If you do get this is the Revolution crate, you know, the show that they're promoting over their Australia show. But anyways, you get a Julia Hart autographed 8x10. You get a Mariah May label pin. Oh wow, never mind. You get a Will Ospreay pillowcase. I think the only one using that in their bed is Tony Khan.
Who fucking use a Will Ospreay pillowcase?
Okay. This is actually cool. A Sting inflatable bat. That's very cool. 10% off your next Shop AEW order. Shop AEW that does not have Ray Phoenix merch. All right, enough of my jabs. Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks Revolution poster. Very cool. Willow Nightingale Super Kick socks. Cool. I know Tony Khan handpicked this one to be in there. A hologram micro brawler.
Oh, I should have got it.
And the two shirts we got this time around were the first one is called Retro, and it is an Outrunners t-shirt.
Okay.
And the second one is called Dragon, and it is a Bryan Danielson t-shirt. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and grab the first one.
Look at that, guys. It's actually a nice and good one. Look at that.
Holy shit. Oh god, that's my first. Oh, that's fucking sick.
Look at that. A good, unique shirt.
Oh my god. They actually fucking gave us something good on here for once.
It was a good, unique shirt for once.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
And here is...
Alright, go ahead and show us, okay? I'm gonna grab mine.
Here's the Outrunners one. Not bad. Not bad. I like the color. Oh, purple shirt, so that's cool.
Did you get a AEW Figure Fighters welcome pack?
I did. I don't think I'll ever use it.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought I got that stupid golden ticket to Dynamite thing. I was like, no, I don't want to go to Dynamite.
Well, if you guys want the Figure Fighters pack, I'll give you the fucking QR code. Let me put it up to the screen.
Alright. I fucks with the Outrunners. Shirt's kind of weak, in my opinion. I think they have cooler shirts on the website, in my opinion.
Anyone that wants to use that, go ahead.
It's decent. Yeah, I was gonna say, let me show you guys. Ah, shit.
It's a decent shirt.
It's decent. I think they have better on the site.
I think they do.
but it is decent. Okay. Also, too, Sir K showed his. I'm gonna show mine. Here's my. Here's my. Hold on.
Oh, it took me a minute to fucking get that shit to focus.
Uh, okay. It's not working. Okay. Hold on.
Took a
Okay.
fucking minute.
If you guys got it, you got it. If not, I'm sorry. You can DM me if you really want it, and I'll gladly send you a picture of it. Because I will
Yeah,
not be
exactly.
playing any AEW figure fighters. So
Nah,
yes, you guys, if you need my DM for anything, you guys got it in the description. So if you need the figure fighters fucking card, then please just send me a DM, and I will gladly send it over.
exactly. I'll never use this. I don't even play their main game, let
Yeah,
alone this fucking thing.
yeah. Uh, we didn't even play it. We didn't even play the game that's supposed to be a success. So lo and behold, AEW figure fighters, man. So what up, Lonnie? How are you doing, bro? Thank you for joining us.
What's up, man? How you doing?
So pretty good all elite crate. Great way to send it off. A great way to send it off, man. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. I might be getting one more, so there might be one more. We might have to saddle up for one more unboxing, but regardless, yes, that's your all elite crate for the month, man. So with all that, we are going to start you guys off with WWE news today. We got a bunch of WWE news, man. We got WWE news on Penta, Corey Graves, Monday Night Raw. We got news on WrestleMania, WWE, and TNA, Tongaloa, Tyler Bate, you name it, bro. We got it.
Yeet.
Okay, so we got a backstage reaction, like I said, on Pentagon Jr. joining the company, and we got basically how people reacted to him being there. So there's been a lot of stuff going around over the past week, which is sometimes why it's very nice to, why it's very nice to go on after all the news has came out, because things come out, you think one thing, and then a contradictory report comes out to that. So it's it's all, there's always, you guys know, man, there's always a bunch of BS flying around in the wrestling community. So I'll read you guys the first report, and then we'll get deeper and deeper into it. So according to PW Insider, Penta's match went way longer than initially planned during his WWE debut, which led to time being trimmed from other segments later in the show. There were some talent back there that there were some talents that were obviously not thrilled. Now that was the first report. Man. And then it came out later in the week by Fightful Select that amongst WWE talent spoken to, they claim they did not hear any heat. They did not hear about any heat on Penta going too long in his debut last night on Raw. Mostly everyone were aware of the moment, aware of what the moment meant to him and his family, and the roster was happy for him. Management within WWE were very happy with Penta's debut and the reaction he received live on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Internally, the company were also very happy with the early merchandise numbers for Penta. And with that, WrestleVote said on the Backstage Pass yesterday that Penta was extremely well received backstage prior to his WWE debut on Raw. There was no heat on him by anybody following his match and promo. At least two superstars indicated interest to creative that they wanted to work with Penta following
Look at
his
that.
debut. Okay, so a lot to unpack here. Sir K. Starting off, man. Starting off this, did you believe the reports? How did you feel initially? What was your initial reaction when you had heard that people may have been upset with Penta initially before it obviously got debunked?
I didn't really understand it at first because my first thought was, well, it's on Netflix now. There's no actual like time frame to, you have to abide by. So if something goes wrong, you just extend the show a little bit. So I was thinking like really doesn't make sense to for them to be mad about it, but maybe they still, WWE would still want to stay under a certain time, so they will cut stuff anyway. So I was like, maybe they're upset about that, but even then I was like, would that be just me more upset or more jealousy that they're not getting that hype? But overall, I just didn't believe it. I thought it went great, and I think the reaction was great. And I didn't really believe, people just being upset backstage that it happened and whatnot. So I didn't really believe it myself. But what about you, man? Did you believe it? What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I could see because I know the show on Netflix. I know the show on Netflix is. I mean, it can be extended. I know WWE wants to stay around a sweet spot, but if Penta really did go over, it's not necessarily going to damage WWE or hurt WWE if they really needed to extend the show. 15 minutes or whatever. It's not. Again, I know they have times and stuff they need to match up to, but
Mhm.
and times that they book their venues to, and I know their road crews on a time crunch and whatever. I get that, but at the end of the day, it's not necessarily gonna be the end of the world if the road crew has to start disassembling the production 15 minutes later than originally planned. Also,
Yeah.
my first thing I thought was, if you're mad that Penta debuted, look at all the other stupid shit that was on the show. I mean, like I said, like I said on Monday's Unscripted, dude, you had a Sami Zayn versus Miz match. You're telling me if you're really on a time crunch, that couldn't have fucking waited till
Oh
next
yeah.
week to do?
Literally, it's a fucking mismatch.
And then everybody, and then it comes out everybody was happy for Pentagon, and somebody was happy for or a lot of people, not somebody, everybody was happy for Pentagon, and it's looks to be at least going well. And no, I mean, I thought it was just, I mean, I don't know who's back there trying to stir the pot, or if the dirt sheets are trying to stir the pot to make the situation, you know I guess bitter, but it was a shitty attempt. And again, WWE, you hear all these guys in WWE talking about how this is such a team effort, and how this is everybody's happy for each other and stuff. So if anybody is jealous back there, if you watched that and didn't think that was for the betterment of the company to debut a guy who a lot of the fan base genuinely feels bad for, because we know that last night on Monday Night Raw, he wasn't supposed to be debuting by himself. He was supposed to be debuting with his
No.
fucking brother, and that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And I think a lot of people feel bad. I think a lot of people in at least in the fan base feel bad for Pentagon Jr. And everybody was, nonetheless, come Monday, I think everybody was just happy with him. I think everybody was happy
Mhm.
with him. You see the videos of him coming out to do his entrance, and he's like, you could see like his hands like fidgeting and shaking, because he's nervous. And he fucking did great, man. He did great. So he had nothing to be nervous about, but I completely understand it. And um I'm just super happy for Pentagon. And if anybody was, if they're, obviously it's came out, that a lot of people were happy for him, but if anybody back there was not thrilled about him going overtime, eh, check your fucking ego, dude. Because
Oh
again,
yeah.
if you don't look at that and see and think that that was an amazing debut and an amazing moment for not only Pentagon but WWE, then again you seriously need to check your ego, because that was tremendous. And I don't know, again, I really don't know how the hell you watch that and you're not and you're not um just anything but excited for him and for the company. And again, you got a lot of people going to creative wanting to work with Pentagon. That says something, man. That says something, man. Again, you should be happy for him, and evidently there's a lot of people that are jumping at the gun to want to go as far to work with the man. So I think we're off to a good start, despite people trying to sour that out. And obviously, WWE management is happy with the Pentagon debut. So again, if there are anybody that was upset about it, I guess you're just gonna have to suck it up, because not only were the fans happy about it, management was happy about it. It was a great moment. And again, if you're bitter or jealous about that, again, you seriously need to check your ego, man, because that was fucking awesome. And then obviously the merchandise numbers. I've heard
Um,
that
Crazy.
he was number 1 and 2 upon his first night in WWE. I don't know if that's still an ongoing thing, but he is number 1 and number 2 for merch sales. So if that doesn't show that he was worth going overtime, if he did, then I don't know what does.
No, exactly. I think it's the most obvious teller for the company that yeah, that guy was worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a great debut. His promo was just genuine. You could see his family crying. Um he obviously just got done working a banger match, and I seen people shitting on how WWE watered him down because he was working a body part. I don't know what some of these fucking
Yeah.
fans are accustomed to a wrestling match being, but work and I know this is upsetting to a lot of them, but working a body part is about as textbook wrestling as you can get. I mean, that's that,
And I like how they say, the people neglect the in-ring storytelling. It's all in-ring, but you do in-ring storytelling with working a limb, and it's too slow. It's not real wrestling. I don't get these people, dude. I don't.
yeah, it's working body parts to them is boring. I guess they just like I legitimately seen a tweet. It said, I already miss this Penta, and I swear to God that whoever this dude was, I can't remember, but you could have chose a lot of clips from Pentagon to show. He fucking posted the clip of Pentagon doing the Canadian Destroyer to Dante Martin that broke his leg. You miss that, Penta? You
I
miss
miss
Pentagon doing the most unnecessary of unnecessary spots ever? This is why I'm
yeah,
glad he came to WWE, because we're not going
exactly.
to see any. And even at that, I don't even know how you could say they watered him down. This fucking dude popped out a Canadian Destroyer, or they call it the Mexican Destroyer, which, by the way, Chad Gable fucking. I mean,
Oh, he sold this shit. It was so perfect.
Gable's just, please do something with Chad Gable, bro. I mean, seriously. But anyways, that's a different story. That's a story for unscripted. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand that whatsoever. And again, I don't understand some of these fans, man. I guess they missed the Pentagon that was out here doing Canadian destroyers onto 4 tables in a ladder match. I don't even know how the fuck tables got involved. It was a ladder match, but what the fuck ever. Whatever, man. And I'm happy for him, and I'm happy he's gonna be in this WWE style. And evidently, I don't think he's watered down at all. I think he is working a WWE style, but watered down. I would absolutely not come close to using that.
No, that's horrible phrasing for what we got on Monday. That's horrible phrasing.
Mm. Watered down was what they did to Keith Lee.
Yeah, that's what AEW did to Keith. That's what they did to Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Malachi Black. Watered them the fuck down.
Yes, they watered them down creatively, absolutely. But um, what I was talking about was when he debuted on the main roster initially. Remember when they took
Oh, yeah.
all his moves away from him? He couldn't do
Or the
that
Warrior.
double chop. Yeah, another great example. The War Raider. That's watered down. Remember they told Hanson he was too big to do the handspring? Yeah, that's kind of the cool fucking thing about it. He's too
It's
big
like,
to do it, and
ooh,
okay.
yeah.
All right. So anyways, man, things look to be going good for Mr. Pentagon, and this leads us into the times regarding WWE and Monday Night Raw. So, according to PW Insider, Netflix does allow flexibility, even though there's no hard out. WWE is still going to maintain their usual structure and timing. They aren't seeking to be there 5 hours every week just because they can. Whether they are slated to run 2 hours or 4 hours on a specific week, they are still going to work towards maintaining the internal clock. Whether they want the show, whether they want the show to end, they are seeking to run an extra hour. They're seeking to run an extra hour because things are running late in reference to Pentagon going overtime. They wanted to be done early enough on the West Coast to allow talent and staff scheduled to take red eye flights back home the ability to do so. They wanted to be done so they didn't have overtime charges in the venue. In the venue they rented with the local staff they used with their own crew, etc. And with that, um, uh, let me see here. Okay. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, uh, I know I just read about the internal clock, and it seems that Triple H is reportedly looking at 2.5 hours as the sweet spot runtime for Monday Night Raw every week. What are your thoughts on this, man? How do you feel about the 2 hour time slot? And obviously, how do you feel about WWE wanting to maintain and not like it says in here do 5 hours every week just because they can?
Well, I definitely get the 5 hours thing, and I never really thought about it till you just read it off, but like the whole venue, usually it's a set. It used to be a set time, so there would be a time when the venue would open, close, all that stuff. But now it's
Hmm.
different. Now they're malleable, so it's kind of whenever they stop. The venue's good. They can start packing it up. So I didn't think about that aspect, which makes it very interesting. But overall, I'm glad Triple H does have his sweet spot because I like that sweet spot. 2.5, 3 on a long one. Very simple, and I think it does make sense overall. And I'm glad that they're gonna overall stay in that range of the similar sweet spots, man. Because I think it was perfect. 2.5 for your, weekly, usually perfect. Even on a really slow week, those twos will be good. So no matter what, I think it's a good time frame, and I like what they did with it, man. I like what they did with it, and I really didn't think about the venue related stuff, but that makes a lot of sense to kind of have a certain goal you want to reach and just overall have overall times you want to pick. So it makes sense, man. But what do you think about the sweet spot and then all, the related stuff?
Well, I know me and you were pretty stoked about it on Monday, bro, but the 2.5 hour being the sweet spot, I think is just perfect. I think that's a great episode of television
Hmm.
right there. I do. Um and we got and what we got is a great episode of television with and what we got on Monday was a great episode of television, being 2.5 hours. That show ended, and I was like, "Oh, I feel ready to get up. I don't, I don't feel like I have to, just keep sitting here for another half an hour just to hit the 3 hour time mark. I feel I've got my fix of wrestling for my Monday, and now I can get up and and go start setting up for the podcast. But um like I said, I felt ready to get up. It just and it really was a sweet spot. A sweet spot is a perfect way to describe it. I thought it was great. I thought it was great, man. And obviously, like I said, they I think 2.5, or like Sir K said rather, I think 2.5 is great on a normal week. Occasionally you can do 3. And also too, this presents WWE a great opportunity. If they ever did want to, swerve us, they could end the show at 2.5 and
Yeah.
then have some crazy shit happen at the end and extend it 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
Hmm.
so and again, because you have that sweet spot, and if you continue to build that, your fan base is automatically going to think like, okay, the show's going to end at 2.5. Oh, we're 2 hours and 29 minutes into the broad, it's 9:29. Okay, the show's about to end, and then boom, some, Wyatt's debut or the Jacob Fatu
Crazy
debut,
shit.
something crazy happens, and you're just like, oh shit, and then we go another 10 minutes. So I like that a lot, and I think it's going to present a lot of great opportunities for WWE, that they have a time slot that they want to obtain, but it's never official,
No,
and again,
exactly.
that's going to create a lot of great opportunities for them, I think. But
I think so.
yeah, because if you look back to the Wyatt's debut, the main event ends at 9:50, and you're like, oh, wonder,
Oh,
wonder what's gonna fill the last 10 minutes of the show,
no,
But if you continue to nail into your audience, okay, the show ends at 9:30. Show ends at 9:30. Eventually, you're gonna get one of those weeks where it's like, oh, it's 9:29. They can go over, but this is normally the time that they go anyway, and then boom, the lights
exactly.
go out and the Wyatt's debut, and you get more of that shock value. And then obviously it's going to fucking pop your live audience because they get to stay an extra 10 minutes. So, yeah.
It works out. The match is wrapping up. Everything's you'd even hit the fucking produced by graphics, and then boom, shit hits. And like you said, the people in the crowd are excited because they're getting up. They're basically getting ready to dip, and then boom, more shit happens.
Mhm.
People love that shit.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, when me and you never want your fan base to get to a point where you never want to
Makes
get
you want to leave.
yes, you never want to have your fan base get to a point where, me, Sir K, and one of our great friends, we went to Dynamite in 2023, and out comes Tony Khan, and he says, "Hold on!" And we were all dead ass about to leave. We were
Hmm.
all dead ass getting up to leave. He comes out, he says, "Hold on, hold on. We got Ring of Honor for you guys," and we're all like, "Fuck." And obviously we want to get our money's worth, so we want to sit there as long as we possibly can.
I was okay with dipping. It was
So
our way. I was
I
like, dude, this ain't worth the money.
I get that, man, but I'm totally a stayer, bro. I'm totally a stayer, but it's just, hey, bro.
Occasionally would. But for ROH, that shit was it was the most random shit. It was like I think it was like a random multi-man match or some shit.
Dude,
Oh.
and then I remember when me and my pops went to Collision for Father's Day, the one that Punk came back at
Hmm.
in 2023. Um Tony comes out and he's like, "We got some extra Ring of Honor." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck me, man." I'm like, "It's only going to be another hour." Show obviously ended at 9. 10 o'clock comes and I'm like, is the fucking main event ever going to happen? They kept us there an extra 2 fucking hours for
Oh,
Ring of Honor.
shit.
It was rough. You never want your fan base to get to that point. But regardless, we also do have another story about Pentagon, but I want to come back to that closer to the AEW stories, man. So we will come to that. It doesn't really have to do with Penta, but it kind of does. So we'll save that for the AEW portion of it, man. But next, I see a lot of you guys talking about it, specifically Hunter, man. Corey Graves.
Damn.
Yeah, damn is right. Corey fucking Graves, dude. So, there's been a lot of stuff going around over the past couple of days, man. Corey Graves sent out a couple of tweets. Corey Graves sent out a couple of tweets. Let me cue them up here. I know since they've been deleted, but
They have been.
he sent out a tweet the other day, and this was Tuesday, or this was either Monday night or Tuesday morning. Imagine chasing your dream, then being told not deciding, that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream, then dedicating your life to something dream adjacent and being pretty fucking awesome at it. And then when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told you're not famous enough for your own job. Just in case you've wondered where I've been. So obviously that came out. Then he sent out another tweet saying, "Tune into NXT tonight. I got a lot to say." Okay, Corey, let's pump the brakes. I know you're friends with CM Punk, but
Well, was.
I I, I think they're friends again.
Oh yeah, they made it up. Never mind. He was friends, wasn't friends, and then he was friends again. My bad.
So then Corey Graves says he's going to be on NXT tonight. So I'm thinking in this moment, I'm like, all right. Well, obviously, we're just going to play into some story on NXT. And we all know, we've all been known, Corey Graves is cleared to compete. So in my head, I'm like, oh, okay. Are they going to bring him back on NXT? Which, again, would be plausible because that fucking division is wide open right now. So I'm like, okay, are they going to bring Corey Graves back on NXT? Then, PW Insider reports Tuesday before NXT, Corey Graves will not be appearing on NXT tonight. There had been word within WWE over the last week. Corey Graves is not happy about being bumped off of Raw and SmackDown for the NXT assignment. Something that his post on X last night seemingly confirmed. With that, PW Insider did report that a couple hours before NXT, Corey Graves was spotted at the Orlando airport just hours before the show started and did not appear on the show. Many in the arena noticed there was only 2 chairs set up for commentary, and Graves was reportedly legitimately frustrated with his move back to NXT. Now, with that, Fightful was asked about this, and multiple sources have claimed Corey Graves was legitimately frustrated with being moved to NXT. Many amongst talent and production were surprised to see Graves at NXT New Year's Evil on January 7th. Some within WWE believe Corey Graves was trying to get fired with his recent comments. This is according to The Observer. A couple weeks ago, when Graves got the word that Wade Barrett was going to replace him on SmackDown, he was not happy. I don't know if he got the word he was going to start in January in NXT. I don't know the situation there. I just know when he found out he wasn't going to be on SmackDown as he presumed he would be, he was genuinely unhappy. There's people there who think he was trying to get fired, and that's why he did what he did on X. If he was trying to get fired, they're probably not going to fire him. As far as we know, he's not fired. I don't know if he's suspended or what it was. He went home. That's where it stands. Now, a recent report came out today stating, also from The Observer, completely good old Observer. They say, despite some within WWE believing Corey Graves was trying to get fired with his online comments, sources have reportedly confirmed this was not the case, and he was just trying to generate buzz.
Generate buzz. Man, I gotta watch NXT. I gotta see, Corey Graves just walked out, dude. I gotta watch NXT. What? Come on, be
And even
real.
if he was, who the fuck fed you that line? He was trying to generate buzz. That sounds like somebody in WWE trying to diffuse the situation. So let me go out there and publicly berate the company for basically kicking me off of commentary on the main roster to generate buzz. What? And then they pull him from the show. So what buzz was I going to generate anyways? Man, how do you feel about this Corey Graves situation, man? And, you know, he says when it's finally time to enjoy the fruits of his labor. I didn't really understand that very much. I mean, you're enjoy the fruits of your labor as in what? Well, staying on the main roster? Did he
Yeah,
want to
I
did
think
he
he
want to
wanted to be seen as one of the main commentators, like the fruits of the gets his reward. That's his reward. I'm assuming would be. I mean, if he can't wrestle again, I think that's his real reward he wants. But I don't think that's gonna happen in WWE. I think it was to be seen as one of their main commentators, like how they see Cole and whatnot. I think that was his fruit.
So to me, I wasn't sure. This could have meant a couple things to me, and he says when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Did he want a lead spot? Because evidently he got kicked off by Barrett. Barrett's color. And I think Corey likes being color. I think Corey can do a play by play. I don't think Corey wants to do a play by play. I could be wrong, um, but regardless, um, did he want a lead spot? Did he want to stay on the main roster? Did he want to go to Netflix? Because, and the reason I say that is because he says being told you're not famous enough for your own job. That leaves two dudes that I think that's a shot at: McAfee
Hmm.
and Joe Tessitore. They're both from ESPN. They're both very famous
Hmm.
analysts in their field. So Joe's specifically the popular commentator that came over to the SmackDown commentary team and took Graves' spot. And obviously, Pat's on Monday Night Raw. So it's interesting as to who he's talking to. And obviously, it's vague. And, I'm sure he, made it that way on purpose. I don't really think he wanted to be specific.
Not
But
just gonna at people, just yeah, at Pat McAfee, fuck you.
yeah,
Yeah, he's not gonna like to say that.
yeah, but obviously he left it very vague and probably rightfully so. But it's very interesting to me, and it definitely leaves the door open for a lot of speculation because again, what all would that mean, man? So it's interesting, man. But how do you feel about everything that went on with Corey Graves? And in your opinion, how would you do the commentary teams and what how are you feeling about this whole situation, man? Do you think Corey being bumped off is right? Talk to me.
I don't think it is. I definitely get where he's coming from, man. You work your ass off, and you become as one of the mainstay commentators, and they just move you off for really no reason. When at the end of the day, if you want 2 and 2, you can. But there's always the opportunity for a three man. I don't think anyone really trips about having a three-man commentary anymore. It's pretty normal nowadays, so it's really nothing to trip over. So I think that option was always on the table that they could have went with. But overall, man, I definitely do understand his frustrations. It's annoying. It's really annoying. You just get sent back to NXT, which it kind of does suck that he does see NXT as the demotion because I mean it is, but also it is kind of like its own thing that like should be respected overall, but they don't really do it. But I would definitely probably be overall in the same mental situation right now about the whole thing. So definitely do understand that. As for how I would organize the team, if there's one person and you have to you can't add them, you can't do a three-man, you have to swap them out with somebody, I would probably say Wade more than anybody because Pat McAfee and Cole, perfect. If you have to have if it has to be a two-man, I'd go with that two-man, and I think it'd be the best one for Monday Night Raw. I just love those two. I like Pat. I know people turned on Pat recently, but I like Pat, and I think he's really good. And I think I would rather have him with Cole rather than Corey. So I like those two together, and I love Joe. I actually do like Joe Tessitore. I think he's really good. I like his
Mhm.
voice. He's very reminiscent of Morrow in just tone and cadence. Um, and I like Wade. But Wade to me is just the weakest link up there, and I think Corey is stronger than him in the commentary factor. So I would have swapped, him and Wade, and did Corey, Joe, and then Pat and Cole. I think that would have been the best one for me. But yeah, it sucks, dude. I do really feel bad for him. I hope they could mend the whole situation. Maybe do the three man, maybe switch them out with Wade, or maybe you could do a rotating door. I mean, there technically is a rotating door that Bell mentions here now. Is when Pat McAfee goes off to do the college football stuff, you're gonna have to switch him with somebody. Everyone would assume that would be Corey. So very intrigued to see how they're gonna do that. If Corey did, you know, hopefully not, but mess up part of his future. But we'll see, man. But what about you? What do you think? How would you organize commentary, and what do you think about this whole Corey and his situation?
Yeah, man. I mean, I do agree with you on a lot of your points, and I know me and you talked about this the other day, but I'm sorry, man. And completely, I completely
Okay.
understand. I completely understand why Corey would be upset. Like like Sir K was mentioning not too just a second ago. He works his ass off. I mean, this dude is on so many shows. I
Night.
remember there excuse me, there's been times where he's been pulling double duty, doing Raw and SmackDown. Um
I think there was a period where he was still doing takeovers and then the pay-per-view, the
yeah,
main roster pay-per-view the next night. That man, he was been putting in work for
yes.
years.
He's been putting in a lot of fucking work for years, and that's why, it's I see a lot of people coming out and saying like, "Oh, well, this happened to Cole and this happened to JR and all this stuff too." I mean, I get that, bro, but would that happen to Michael Cole today? And I know Cole is 30 years deep, bro, but Corey, don't disrespect
Well,
what Corey's done. Corey's been fucking running balls to the walls for like 9 fucking years now. He's been on the main roster. So, don't give
it's
me
gotta
that.
be a decade. It's gotta be at least a decade of commentary.
And to say he's not famous enough to do it again, obviously I think that's either a shot at Tess or I think that's a shot at McAfee because Corey is so good at his job. And like I was telling you, I was telling, you in private, bro, out of everybody's job being on the line in terms of demotion or promotion on the fucking main roster, Corey Graves' job should have absolutely been secure. I mean, it should
Oh
have
yeah.
absolutely been secure. I mean, this is Corey Graves we're talking about. And again, if you look at the main roster commentary top to bottom, there's four guys, right? Well, five. There's Corey, there's Cole, there's Pat, there's Joe, and there's Wade. Out of all of those guys, Corey is not the one that should have been
Good
bumped.
job.
And again, no
No.
disrespect to the man I'm about to name, but Wade Barrett, I love Wade. I think Wade is great. Everybody loves Wade Tsunami. Everybody loves that shit, right? We love Wade Barrett as a commentator. Out of everybody on the main roster, Wade is the most expendable. I'm sorry. And again, this is coming from, I have to reiterate, I love Wade Barrett on commentary. I think he's great. However, however, Corey, I don't know why WWE couldn't have done a three-man with
Yeah.
Joe, Corey, and Wade if they really didn't want to bump anybody. I think that could have been just fine because 9 times out of 10, when Pat is available, you do a three-man on pay-per-view anyway.
Mhm.
Normally, they do Cole, Corey, and McAfee. So I don't understand the problem there. And if there is a problem, if there is a problem with doing a three-man, I think I know Wade and Joe Tessitore are a great commentary team, but if you're looking at, color commentators, again, I think Corey's a better color commentator than Wade Barrett. I don't know
Yes.
what would have been so wrong with a Corey and Joe Tessitore commentary team for Friday night. I don't understand that at all. And again, I think Joe being in the play-by-play spot, I think he could have learned a lot from Corey Graves as his color man. And again, um, if there was anybody to swap out, I as a color commentator, I would take Corey Graves over Wade
Mhm.
Barrett. And I don't understand why, if you needed a two-man booth, you didn't just have Wade sit out until Pat goes away. I
Yeah. don't understand that.
And again, I can't I really don't understand how Corey Graves' position was in jeopardy here at fucking all, man. I don't understand that at all. He's one of the best he's probably the best color commentator in the business.
I'm
If you
not
look at
sure at all.
it's definitely fucking not Tony Schiavone. And you know, Corey's obviously, you know, we love Pat and Pat is great, but even as a color man, Corey's the best color
Yeah,
commentator in the business. That's just how that
it's
goes.
just what
But
it is. Mhm.
so for him to get for him to get demoted like that, I think is ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous because he's put in a lot of fucking work. He's put in a lot of work, and he should be, again, the WWE audience is familiar with him. You know, he's very good at what he does. He obviously used to be a wrestler, and normally 9 times out of 10, those are the best color guys, are guys that used to be wrestlers. I mean, again, look at Wade Barrett, Nigel McGuinness. I mean, 9 times out of 10, your best color mans are your guys that used to be wrestlers. So,
Booker
um,
T.
uh, I, he he's good at doing other stuff. He's good at doing other stuff, bro. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it at all, and I don't think Corey's position should have been on the line here at all, in my honest opinion. And um, yeah, that's just ridiculous to me, man. But I hope everything goes well, and I hope they're able to sort all this out, man, because Corey is a very good one to lose, bro. He's a very good one to
Mhm.
lose. So, yeah,
He is. He's too good to lose. I don't think it'd be in WWE's best interest to lose him. So I hope they could work all that out.
very true, very true. I'm seeing your guys' comments, man. Hunter, man, you don't like Joe Tess. Wow.
I know, man. I don't get it. I like him. I think he's good.
A lot of people were very critical of him last week on SmackDown. Last week on SmackDown, he did sound a little rough. I can't lie, but everybody has off nights. No, I think Joe Tess is. I think Joe Tess is great. I do.
I think he is.
I honestly think out of all the commentary experiments they've tried over the past 4 or 5 years, he's the best one to come out of. I'm the Jimmy Smiths, the Aardvark Verk, the Ardnan Verk, whatever the fucking guy's name was. I know that they tried to put Dio Madden on commentary for a little bit. I mean, there's been some rough. Renee
Coach.
was on commentary. Jonathan Coachman was an awful commentator. I don't know why they didn't just have him backstage interview, bro. Renee on commentary was pretty rough. Another backstage interviewer that they should have kept there. Um,
Look at that.
yeah, I
Usually
don't know.
backstage interviewers don't work out as commentators. Tony Schiavone.
That is true, Bell. I know McAfee. I know McAfee loves doing WWE, man. I know WWE has. I know McAfee loves doing WWE, but out of everybody, you know, you are right. He is the one that I guess needs WWE the least. Um,
Yeah.
but I know Pat McAfee loves to do it. I know he's got that passion for it. So, and no, I mean Pat is a great commentator, but again, none of these color guys are better than Corey Graves, which, like I'm saying, is why I really don't understand why you know his ass was on the fucking line here, because he's the best one in the business. Why you would want the best color commentator in the business not showcased is one thing or the other, but you know, evidently WWE wanted to go with the two popular options in Joe Tess or Wade Barrett or Pat McAfee. You know, Cole's not going anywhere,
Yeah.
but yeah, and two, you know, if I'm, you know, Michael Cole is going to be, I guess, retiring soon, you know, whether that's in 5 or 10 years or whatever. He's getting close to the 30 years of commentary, and I know he's enjoying it more than ever. I'm looking at Corey Graves as the next voice of WWE if he wants to do it the same way
Yeah.
Cole is the voice of WWE, because Corey's just that fucking good. But
No, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Corey is also, you know, he's, you know, a little younger than, obviously, than Cole. So if I'm looking at anybody who's next up for that spot for that main commentator spot because, you know, Cole did the same thing. Cole had to sit next to JR for so many years, and similar to how Corey, you know, has to sit next to Cole, and eventually I feel Corey should get that, you know, but
I think so.
that's just me, man. But I hope, um, I hope that everything works itself out with Corey, because that would be horrible for WWE to lose that man. Um, but yeah, that's everything regarding the Corey Graves situation, man, and that's how I feel about it.
Definitely, man. Same.
More WWE, more WWE news. Oh, gotcha. Um, okay, Belle says I misunderstood her. Well, I'm sorry, Belle. Okay. She says she doesn't mean McAfee should leave. She means what Corey said was more of a shot at McAfee
I
more than
think so.
Tess,
I
because
think it was.
McAfee is a huge name on his own without WWE. Yes, I definitely the only reason that would make me speculate it was something at Joe is, like I said, just because. But again, Corey, and one thing that does, you know, also make me think it was McAfee, the whole enjoying the fruits of my labor. To me, I took that as, you know, maybe he wanted to be on Raw on Netflix. I mean, everybody was talking
Yep.
about how historic that was for WWE. That's kind of what my mind or what my mind went to when I heard about him wanting to, like he said, enjoy the fruits of his labor. Um, but the only reason that would obviously make me speculate or think Joe or Wade is obviously because those are the two guys that took his spot on SmackDown. But yeah, I would definitely agree. I would definitely think it was more of a shot at McAfee, just off the fact of the whole fruits of the labor line. It really kind of made my mind go to Netflix, you know.
Mm, definitely.
Because you know how much, you know, these commentators love to call, you know, big events. Obviously, that's, you know, they,
That was our whole point.
yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot of these commentators' dreams to call certain events, and you look at Raw on Netflix. I think Corey at least wanted to be a part of that, and the whole, like I said, the whole fruits of the labor line kind of made my mind go that way. So no, I could definitely see that being more of a shot at McAfee. So I'm in agreement with you there for sure. But again, I didn't want to completely cut out the possibility of it being Joe and Wade, just off the fact that they took the SmackDown commentary spot from him. But moving over to some injury news, Tonga Loa,
Oh,
the GOAT.
truly the GOAT. Missed.
According to WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, WWE is aiming for Tonga Loa to return around WrestleMania 41. They're shooting
Mm.
for WrestleMania. I don't know if they have a spot for him. I wouldn't say that he's got a tag match lined up, but they're shooting that he is going to be back on TV around WrestleMania.
I hope so. I hope he could be back around that time. I think that'll be around the time of, the destruction of Solo's bloodline. So I think his return might be aiding Jacob and Tama in that.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I think they're going to want him back on WrestleMania or around WrestleMania. And again, if we are looking at Jacob versus Solo, you should heavily be looking at a story where maybe the rest of the members of the bloodline are a bit undecided. You know, either that or you're looking at a storyline where all the members just completely turn on Solo, and then maybe Tangaloa comes back, teases helping Solo, but then eventually turns as well to join, you know, Jacob and his brother, and possibly his other brother Hikaleo. Um, but yeah, I mean that's around the time they're looking for Tangaloa to come back, and again, for the sake of Jacob and Solo and the whole new bloodline story. I think that I hope that goes according to plan for them because that would be great.
It would be really great.
Hunter says Tongaloa could be the new tribal chief.
That's what I've been saying, bro. Ever since he debuted, new tribal chief.
He could be. You don't find
Yeah,
many that botch their debut.
the ITC, infamous tribal chief. I
Ooh,
like it.
it's got a nice ring to it. Very nice ring to it.
It does.
Another piece of injury news: Tyler Bate. According to PWInsider.com, Tyler Bate is extremely close to returning to WWE programming after his torn pec. Bate is expected to join the Raw brand once he is officially cleared, which could be any time now. How do you feel about this, man? And what do you want to see them do with Tyler Bate? And what do you think they should do with Tyler Bate?
At this point, with the way they treated Pete and the whole Butch stuff, I don't even think he's been on TV in a minute. But dude, bring him back. Do that fucking tag team. Him, and Pete, and any tag teams. Add them to the tag team division. And if you want, Trent Seven. I think his deal with TNA came up. Was that where he was? TNA.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, well, even if it is, and even if he resigns, we'll get to it, but it might not matter at that point, even if he does sign with them. But get those three and get that faction back together. Let's get British Strong Style back together, and that's probably what I would do with Tyler Bates' return, man. But what about you? What would you do with his return?
Um, I was actually just going to mention the fact that Trent Seven is done with TNA, and I would love to see him come back with Tyler Bate and do some sort of Mustache Mountain, um, or get the group back together. I know Tyler and Trent are the tag team, but honestly, as a singles man, I think you have the most luck of getting Tyler Bate over
Oh
because
yeah,
at this point with Pete Dunne, I mean, you've just completely butchered anything you had with him. You know, you were off to a great start when you turned his name back to Pete Dunne, but all he ever is the guy that people call Butch and he gets upset. So,
yep,
in that regard, you kind of fucked him over there, man. But I honestly think with his in-ring style and just, maybe he can use a little bit more charisma, man. But I definitely think with his in-ring style, you have a better chance and you have better building blocks with getting Tyler Bate over. I think he's mad exciting to watch. I mean, he's one of my favorite performers to watch. I think Tyler Bate is tremendous in every sense of the word. This guy was fucking stuck in NXT for his entire adult life up until this point. And
literally.
you finally get him back, and I think when you do finally get him back, I mean, I think it's you have a decent shot at getting him over. He's going to be coming back with a clean slate. Maybe you get Trent Seven to team with Pete Dunne. I don't know how many people want to see that team, and you use Tyler Bate as the singles, but either that or you do Mustache Mountain, and you have Pete Dunne be the singles. But you really gotta cut out all this Butch shit. I mean, the name Butch should have never been heard or spoken of again. As
Ever
soon as
again.
yes, they should have absolutely, similar to how Dewdrop is never, ever, ever
Never mentioned.
mentioned for
Max
Piper Niven.
Dupree is
Yes.
never mentioned because it was bad. It was scrapped finally for reasons.
Meanwhile, this guy's whole gimmick, a guy with all the potential in the world, is Pete Dunne. All the potential in the world, and all his fucking gimmick is what his old name used to be. Like,
It,
come on, man.
and he still has that it's still overall the Butch character of like that scrappy dude character where it's like he just
Yeah.
wants to fight. I hate it so much. I hate that they gave him that shit.
Yeah, like Daniel Garcia.
Ugh,
He's cutting promos on Collision saying he wants to show up every week and fight.
we don't even see him every week. Good lord.
Well, he's on Collision, man. You gotta watch.
Eh,
You don't watch Collision?
No, that's exactly what I said. We don't
Oh,
see him every week
come on,
because no
dude.
one fucking watches Collision.
Well, you can't
I mean,
complain if you don't watch Collision. Everyone
Oh,
watches Collision.
everyone. I mean, yeah, all 100,000 fans they have watched Collision.
Exactly. That's all that's left. Um,
Literally.
so, um, yeah, but Tyler Bate is looks like he's going to be coming back soon. And again, personally, I would use him as a singles. I would use him as a singles if you do get British Strong Style back together. If not, obviously that's just me fantasy booking Trent Seven back into the situation. If not, like Sir K said, I would absolutely get the New Catch Republic back together, because those guys, man, they need tag divisions, and they need to pull Pete Dunne out of a singles scenario, because it's just it's
They're not doing it right.
no, they're not. And again, he, like you were saying, it's still the Butch character, bro. His name is, he literally just got a fresh coat of paint as
Yep.
Pete Dunne, and that's been about it. But they've done him so wrong. But again, if they did want to bring Trent Seven in, it would be great to see Mustache Mountain, but it would also be great to see Pete and Trent as the tag team, and let Tyler Bate be a singles, bro. Tyler Bate versus fucking Braun Breaker, Sheamus, Kaiser, Finn Balor. I mean, you look at that whole mid card scene on Monday Night Raw, man. Tyler Bate would just be. We talk about that work rate group that Monday Night Raw has with the Kaisers and the Sheamus and um Braun and all those kind of guys, man. Tyler Bate would be great in that, and so would Pete Dunne. But evidently, they
Oh,
have
yeah.
failed him. But Tyler Bate would be great in that crop of guys.
He really would be.
So, um, yeah, that is the injury news, man. That is the injury news regarding Tyler Bate and the Tongaloa. Um, some other interesting news. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, man.
Oh, man.
Um, that's right. According to the Observer, Hulk Hogan is scheduled to be at WWE's. Excuse me. Oh God. WWE. Or good lord. My bad. My bad. I had a hiccup. According to the Observer, Hogan is scheduled to be at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event on Saturday, January 25th in San Antonio, Texas. There is no word on if Hogan will appear in front of the crowd whatsoever. And with that, before I ask what you think about this, there are also plans for Shawn Michaels to be present at the event, being that is in his hometown of San Antonio, Texas. How are you feeling about this, man? And how are you feeling about the Hulkster? Hulking up for on Saturday night's main event.
Well, first I'll talk about the better part of it, the HBK part. I like that part. I like that he,
Mm-hmm.
is probably going to show up, show face, and whatnot. And with HBK showing up, maybe they could have some NXT people show up. Maybe use Saturday Night's Main Event to showcase some up and coming NXT talent. That's just
Mm.
an idea, man. But as for Hulk Hogan, I mean, what the fuck do you say? He's gonna show up. He's gonna show up, get booed, and fucking do his little shtick and walk out. I don't think there's much to say about Mr. Hogan. Then I think he'll probably regret that decision of showing up. So it's that's probably what's gonna happen with Hogan, man. But what do you think about all this?
Uh, well, I fully expecting Brawl Out 2 if Jesse Ventura is in the building, because
Oh,
that is going to be very interesting to hear about if Jesse and Hogan are in the same building or have some sort of interaction with each other. Um, which, I'm sure we'll hear Hulk Hogan pathologically lie about the situation if that does happen. And um, Hogan is quite the choice to bring back this soon after you after you trotted him out there on the first Raw on Netflix for him to walk away with a shirt skirt. around his waist as he stumbled to the back.
He
as
was
he
like, "Ah, shit."
as he as he stumbled to the back, you know, absolutely probably just heartbroken that the people booed him and they booed Real American Beer. Um,
Real American beer.
yeah. So
Good.
yeah, so I mean, we're gonna get two interesting names at Saturday night's main event. The only thing I'm fucking worried about is if Jesse Ventura is gonna be in the building, which I'm almost positive they said Jesse was gonna be at every one.
Think
So
they
it's going to be interesting to see if Hogan, because he's doing videos for Saturday night's main event, but it's going to be very interesting to see if Hogan is in the building physically as well, or if they're just going to have him film in some sort of package. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, man. But if they do use him, it's hopefully we see him get booed as loud as he got booed in Los Angeles, because that was talking
would
about
hope.
enjoying the fruits of your labor. I mean, that was very that was very enjoying. That was very fulfilling for me. That was one of the
Oh man,
funniest things I've seen on television all year.
that shit was absolutely hilarious. I need part two.
Exactly. So, speaking of two, SmackDown. Okay, we already know this. We're reporting it again because everybody's acting as if this is new news. According to the Observer, between May and June of 2025, WWE is expected to adjust SmackDown back to its 2-hour runtime.
Uh, wait,
Eh, Everybody in the IWC is acting like this is the first time we've heard this. Literally, when SmackDown move got announced for 3 hours, a part of the report was that
it'll
after
move back.
WrestleMania, it's going back to 2 hours.
This was made before they went to 3 hours. When they made the report, they were going to 3 hours in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've been knew this since like fucking the summer,
Yes.
damn near. Like, homie, what are you guys reacting to it now? So it's been known. We all know the whole schedule with everything. I don't get it, man. I don't get these fans.
As literally, dude, as soon as we heard the report that they were moving to 3 hours come January, it was in the same report that it was going back to 2 hours after Mania. I don't know. Everybody's acting like it's new news, man. I guarantee you it's going to be in the news sheet probably about a month from now. SmackDown's moving back to 2 hours. And everybody's going to act like it's new again. Bro, we've been new this stuff, but
Ben knew
whatever.
that shit. Good
Whatever,
one.
man. Speaking of SmackDown, according to WrestleVotes, Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, obviously a feud on SmackDown, or a likely feud on SmackDown, has been talked about internally within WWE for WrestleMania 41 in April. I think this comes at the surprise of absolutely nobody.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
how are you feeling
literally.
about how, how are you feeling about Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair being the internal plan for WrestleMania?
And I think we kind of all knew this when Tiffany won the briefcase. Not even the title, when she won the briefcase. I think most people assumed that was overall going to be the plan. So most fans knew that this was going to be the overall plan. Tiffany, Charlotte, and it's going to be Charlotte. I just curious to see what this whole new Charlotte thing is. I can't wait to see how not new it is, but pretend new it is. That's always how Charlotte goes. It's gonna be a pretend new. It's not gonna be an actual new Charlotte, but very curious to see how they do it and when they do it. I know Charlotte like just recently posted that video of her like I think was taking that knee bracelet off or whatever it was
Mm-hmm.
whatever that was. So she's coming back real soon, man. So very interesting to see how this all goes. I think it's going to be decent. I don't think it's going to be bad. Charlotte can work a match, obviously, so I don't think it'll be a bad match at all. It's just going to be Charlotte back in the fold, and that's just always the hit. It always has its energy to it. It's Charlotte energy to it, man. But don't think it's gonna be bad, but yeah, man. What do you think about this?
I did see the Charlotte video, and I thought it was very good. I thought it was
Hmm.
very good. It's her working out, and it's her just, I guess saying all her own criticisms to herself. You're not good enough. You're gonna come back washed. You're, whatever. You're a fucking robot. I don't know what she said. I don't know exactly what she said, but it was stuff along the lines of that. And then at the end of the video, she just says like, get out of your own fucking head, Ashley," or something like that. But it was good. It was good. I liked it. And again, like I said, man, this comes at the surprise to absolutely nobody, man. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair were on a collision course for each other, like Sir said, as soon as she won the briefcase. I think everybody expected that. I think everybody expected that for WrestleMania, and it's a good decision. It's a good decision. I think that's a big enough match you can do. I think that's at this juncture the biggest match Tiffany Stratton can do going in to WrestleMania. I just hope Tiffany wins and Charlotte, puts her over and gives her that honor. And being that the last time we seen Charlotte at WrestleMania, she put on one of the best women's matches in WWE history. I'm very excited to see what she can do with Tiffany Stratton. I'm very excited to see what she can do with Tiffany Stratton, and hopefully turn out a banger, man. Because we know when Charlotte really turns it up, we know damn well she could really turn out a banger, man. So I hope she does that for Tiffany Stratton, and more importantly, I hope she gives Tiffany Stratton the honor of beating her on her first try. Because if we've known Charlotte to be somebody that's they got to get that she's got to at least get that first win if
Hmm.
she's going to put
Oh
somebody
yeah,
over. So I just hope she does the right thing, man. But again, I hope they turn out a banger, because the last time we seen Charlotte at WrestleMania, it was a banger. So I'm excited to see her back, and I hope she keeps me excited to see her back and doesn't kill my excitement by LOL Charlotte antics. So yeah.
literally. Hope it's. I mean, she recharged her batteries, replaced them. She went from double A to D batteries, so maybe she'll have more power in behind the motors in her arms and whatnot, man. But the robot's back, man. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes, and speaking of WrestleMania, according to WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, WWE are planning on holding a WrestleMania 41 press conference, like a kickoff press conference like they did last year,
Hmm.
during Super Bowl weekend, February 8th in New Orleans, Louisiana, the host of the Super Bowl this year. This has led a lot of people to speculate that Mania next year is going to be in Louisiana. How do you feel about that? Do you see that being a possibility? And how do you feel about WWE doing another one of these kickoff conferences?
I mean, the kickoff conferences they're nice and simple. They're
Mm-hmm.
fun. They're cool. I like them. I think Super Bowl's a good place to do it. I think it's gonna get buzz. People are gonna be there anyway for the weekend, so they'll probably see that and be like, might as well go check it out, see what happens, and then it'll get wrestling fans to go over there. I mean, I feel bad for the football fans. They're gonna have to smell that, but overall, I think it's gonna be a good mix from one fan to another of just seeing what's up, man. So I think it's gonna be overall good. And those press conferences are really cool. So I don't mind those pre pay-per-view press conferences, man. It's always the post ones that always just fucking do weird shit, but those pre ones are really good. And I like what they do with those, man. But for the rumors of that it's going to be, there for next year, it could be. I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't know. I feel like 42 is going to be a more special WrestleMania in terms of location. Not that it wouldn't be special there or whatever, but really feel like
It's
it has a
not.
real good chance of being international, dude. I really do. But it's not. Oh, dude. I mean, when was the last time they fucking went there? It was very
Dude, they went there 2014, and then they went back in 2018.
Yeah, it was like, dude, stop going to that same spot. You can only
Ugh.
do that same theme so many fucking times, man. But and if you're gonna stay in America, I would go many other places. I would finally do the Minnesota Mania that we got gypped of. You see, even just the Viking colors for Mania would go crazy. You already did New Orleans fucking twice in very recent years, little over 10 years, twice in 10 years, in what, 11 years?
Mhm.
Um, so it's crazy, man. But I really think it might be international or Minnesota. They might finally run it back and just do, what they were gonna do this year. But it's just very intriguing. But I don't think it'll be in New Orleans, man. But I'm very excited for the press conference, though. But what do you think? Where do you think it's going, and what do you think of the press conference?
I think the press conference is awesome. You see, the only thing that annoyed me about the press conference last year is, like when Rhea Ripley came out, it was more of like a. I remember Becky Lynch came out to confront her, and she didn't even win the fucking Elimination Chamber yet, so it almost like completely gave that away. I would
Mhm.
like at least for them to trot a couple more people out there, at least maybe some of Rhea's most viable challengers, or like as example, using Rhea. If they were to trot a couple other challengers out there to make it not look so fucking obvious, and then obviously Becky went on to win the tournament and face Rhea anyway, but we all kind of knew that, so I would like for them to do a little bit less of just again like blatant giveaways like that. But nonetheless, last year I thought it was very fun. I mean, last year is where we seen the Royal Rumble winner, Cody Rhodes, decide who his WrestleMania opponent was going to be. So obviously there was a bunch of buzz centered around that, and it just created good hype. As for people thinking that 42 is going to be in New Orleans, Louisiana, that is that is fucking absolutely that is so ridiculous to think, dude. And if WWE is even of the mindset remotely close to bringing a WrestleMania back to New Orleans less than 10 years after they did another one there, 11 in the past 11 years they did two WrestleManias there. So that would just be a ridiculous decision. And I think you bring 42 to somewhere more grand.
Mhm.
Whether it's international, I don't care where it is, just as long as it's fucking not Saudi Arabia. So yeah, but I don't see that at all. And again, I hope that rumor dies and does not stick whatsoever, because that is horrible. That is a horrible fucking location, and that is such a letdown location for 42, in my opinion.
Complete letdown location. They cannot make that decision.
Yeah, I mean, and again, man, nothing against New Orleans, Louisiana, bro, but Jesus, I mean, the dude, you've went there twice in the past 11 years, man. I mean, give New Orleans a little bit of a break, man. I mean, it is, yeah, please no. So let me see, actually. I'm not sure if somebody. Yes, I believe. Yeah, that was just a rumor. Okay. Yes. Well, anyways, regardless, I hope that rumor dies a miserable
Okay.
death, because
I hope it does.
that is horrible. Speaking of WWE going international, WWE President Nick Khan was on 8 News Now, and he was speaking about WWE and their premium live events, and he did say WWE are set to hold a premium live event in France sometime this year. WWE President Nick Khan announced the news while speaking with LVCVA President Steve Hill at the Preview Las Vegas event on Thursday. He says, last year we did Lyon. Sometime this year we will be doing Paris. Paris is obviously where they were going to go for Backlash, but Paris was booked for something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were booked for something, and they ended up having to go to Lyon. Lyon actually turned out to be one of the loudest, probably the loudest fucking crowd I've ever seen for a WWE crowd ever. When they go to France, should be interesting. It should be interesting whether they do another like summer show like they did last year, or if they do um something more in the fall. But there's a lot of shows in the summer. I believe Money in the Bank's booked for somewhere already. I
I
think.
think it is. Yeah.
Um, money. So you got a lot though. You have Backlash. You have King and Queen of the Ring, which WWE is running a Saturday night's main event on normal King of the Ring weekend. So I wonder where King of the Ring weekend is going to be, and that mixed with the fact that they're running a July 12th Saturday night's main event. So that's absolutely hilarious. But they are running a Saturday night's main event at the end of May, which is normally where King and Queen of the Ring is going to be. So that's that's normally their weekend. So I wonder where that's going to be. But there's a lot they could do. They could have it for King and Queen of the Ring. They could do another Backlash in France. I don't see that. They could do it. They could do it for what's the other July one? It's no June. They could do it in that Clash at the Castle spot.
Oh yeah.
They could do it that Clash at the Castle spot, or the other international spot that they did last year was Bash in Berlin. Obviously, you're not going back to Berlin. You could do it at the end of August. So it's going to be
And they
very interesting to see where they go there.
very interested. It's going to be a really nice location. France overall was really good last time, so I'm excited for them to go back. And very interesting to see what pay per view they give it. If they give it its own, like the Bash in Berlin type pay per view, or if they do one of their steady pay per views. Very curious to see, the when and where.
Definitely. Definitely, man, definitely. So, yeah, they definitely have a lot of options though, being that, they have a lot of pay-per-views over the summer, but I guarantee you it's going to be another great crowd for France. I guarantee it. That is very true, Bell. That is very true. Cody Cody was deciding Roman's opponent pretty much at that
Maybe.
year's at the press conference last year. Yes, it was the Olympics that was holding France. Um, Penta versus Ray at Backlash Mexico. That would be pretty
Oh, I
hard.
need it.
That's if that was real, man. That's if that was real. So we'll have to see where Backlash is this year. But I wish WWE would hurry up and get a move on with their announcing, because I'm excited as hell to see where they bring these.
Oh, very excited.
Speaking of WWE, man, WWE and TNA. This is very interesting, man. This is very, very interesting here. Fightful Select released the press release that WWE released. As you can see it on your very screen, WWE and TNA Wrestling announced a multi-year partnership, NXT Superstars and TNA Superstars, to appear across weekly WWE and TV programming, premium live events, WWE premium live events, and TNA pay-per-views. January 16th, 2025, WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings, and TNA Wrestling, one of the world's top wrestling brands, and a subsidiary of Anthem Sports and Entertainment, today announced a multi-year partnership aimed at creating unprecedented crossover opportunities within WWE and TNA programming for NXT Superstars and TNA Wrestling Superstars. The agreement will enable talent to garner additional exposure across key WWE and TNA programming, including weekly flagship shows such as NXT, which airs on CW and TNA Impact, select premium WWE premium live events. I think we'll see this one come into use in about 3 weeks here, and TNA pay-per-views. Um, in turn, bolstering their in-ring development and exposure to world-class talent and coaching. The historic relationship demonstrates the collaboration and competition do not have to be mutually exclusive, said Ariel Schrenner, Senior Vice President of Content and Distribution for TNA Wrestling and Anthem Sports. Our partnership allows the TNA Wrestling brand and its incredible athletes rather to reach a significantly wider audience while giving WWE and NXT superstars opportunity to cross the line and gain valuable experience as they join forces with one of the most talented rosters in professional wrestling today. The response to our collaboration over the past year has been tremendous, and both companies have benefited. But the fans have reaped the greatest reward from this talent crossover and working relationship. We look forward, this is a different quote, we look forward to growing and evolving our brand with TNA Wrestling and its outstanding group of athletes by creating new opportunities to further development of our talent to elevate the viewer experience at home, said WWE Senior Vice President of Talent Development Creative, Shawn Michaels. Former TNA Knockouts Women's Champion Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry. Very
Hmm.
interesting name there. I wonder why this was announced now. Frequently appeared on NXT programming in 2024, highlighted by an NXT Championship match against Ethan Page at NXT's No Mercy event, an NXT Women's Championship match featuring Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez at Battleground. Many superstars also crossed the line into TNA Wrestling, including Wes Lee with his short-lived reunion with the Rascals, Charlie Dempsey of the No Quarter Catch crew, Riley Osborne, Dante Chen, Gallus, Ariana Grace, Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, Wendy Chu, and Brinley Reese, and more. TNA Impact airs on Access. Okay, and then that just promotes where they air. But this is the official press release that they put out for the partnership between TNA and WWE. And with the Royal Rumble coming up, man, and with a certain Joe Hendry looming in the shadows, I think we all know why this was announced now. And obviously, on NXT television recently, we seen not Jordan Grace, Masha Slamovich in the crowd, the current TNA Knockouts Women's Champion, and I can absolutely see. Joe Hendry being a part of the Royal Rumble, and I think they strategically announced this partnership now so we can get Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble because I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
he's all the way up until 2025, and Jordan Grace is up in early 2025, so we know she's going to be jumping to WWE soon. And then they put Josh Alexander on television recently against Mike Santana, so it's a great thing when you have a company featuring a guy that has a contract coming up, and they're featuring him, and we all know where he's going. So I honestly think he's going to seamlessly make the transition from TNA to WWE, and we might even see that happen live on television. So
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. I think it's gonna be good. I like what they're doing here. They really asked TNA, hey, how long is Joe Hendricks' contract up?
yeah,
Yeah, shit. You know what? Let's make a deal. But I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good for both companies. It's gonna give both companies and certain talents moments to shine. I mean, it's gonna be a back and forth from NXT, TNA, and depending on the bigger names up to the main roster, probably like we are all saying, Joe Hendry. Um, but I think it's going to be a very good deal. I think it's going to be good for both TNA, WWE, and NXT. I think, and it's just going to be a good collaboration of, they're both going to do their own thing, but this person's going to go over there sometimes. Sometimes they'll get this person. Maybe someone gets injured on, said roster. So someone from somewhere else comes in to fill that place. I think no matter what, just overall going to be good. And it's WWE securing a lot of people for the future, man, because a lot of people want to go there and maybe they don't want to, use NXT as their stepping stone. Maybe they want to use a place like TNA where they're going to get used
yeah.
more. So I think no matter what, it's going to be good for WWE and good for a lot of the talent, man. So I think it's a very, very good deal that went on, even for both sides. I mean, overall, we all know WWE is going to benefit more overall. They're going to, at the end of the day, take as much talent as they can and whatnot. But I do think it's good for a lot of the talent in TNA, man. But what do you think about all this?
Yeah, man, I definitely think this is obviously like you said, we know WWE is just going to continue to take and take and take from TNA. This is basically an official deal saying you guys are okay with us stealing all your talent eventually. But like you were saying, it is nice for people in TNA, instead of, like you said, using NXT as a stepping stone, they can sort of use TNA as a stepping stone, and they can be portrayed as more of a top guy over there, and less of a talent in developmental, which and it also is going to be great for NXT. We always talk about NXT's wide open men's division. That's going to
Hmm.
be great for that. They can get a lot of guys over. And then, two, you look at a guy like AJ Styles. Before AJ Styles retires, now it's a possibility he can go work a final match in TNA, his home, for many, many, many years. And it's also going to be great for people that aren't being used, that have no creative. You can send them, or look for how long we complained about Nakamura not being used. That dude could have absolutely used an excursion to TNA or something like that, and it can be looked at as them hopping over rather than them getting demoted back to NXT, as what a lot of times it does look like, even if WWE is trying to portray it as that or not. Um but nonetheless, man, no, I think this is great, man. I think this is great. And obviously Masha Slamovich is, we've seen her on NXT. She's phenomenal. She's gonna do great over there. When Killer Kelly comes back, we could see Killer Kelly on WWE TV again. Jordan Grace is, I mean, she's coming over anyway. Her contract's almost up. But then guys like Joe Hendry,
Hmm.
also now have the possibility, and the Rascals have the possibility of jumping over a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think this is great. I think this is great for both companies, man. As long as they don't do a yearly show, unless it's low key, like those low key ass Worlds Collide shows they used to do with like
Yeah.
NXT and NXT UK. It's under the same fucking company anyway. But maybe they could do a low key Worlds Collide show. Don't do a giant show and name it after a catchphrase. Like
Good old
like
Tony.
yeah, like some companies like to do. As long as you don't do that and kill the concept, I think they'll be just fine. And just keep it as a low key partnership, man. Occasionally have people jump over and have that be like your forbidden door, and don't have as long, like I said, as long as you don't have a yearly show that kills the concept because you ran out of fucking matches to do, because you have a yearly show on top of featuring people across both brands all year, it just kills the concept. But as long as they don't do that, they'll be fine. But no, I think this is going to be great. Who I'm really interested to see, even though we haven't heard from her, and we haven't heard about her since she debuted, was Tessa Blanchard. How's
I
that going to
know.
work? I'm very
I
interested to see. I'm very interested to see how much or how frequently we see her on WWE television. So it's very interesting to see. But no, I think it is. Again, in the long run, it really is just WWE taking all of their talent. But nonetheless, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we see. I'm excited to see who we see eventually hitting the main roster. Which
Mhm.
obviously I said, I think we're gonna see Joe Hendry at the Rumble for sure. But
Oh,
but um but yeah, very interested to see how that all goes, and I'm very interested to see, like I said, who we see jump on the main roster and who we see from the main roster jump over there. And again, I think if I were to give a huge name out of that one, I think we'll definitely at some point see AJ Styles go over there.
oh, 100%. I think that's basically a guaranteed, man. So that's gonna be exciting for guys like him.
Yeah.
And Hunter mentions in the comments, is Nick Nemeth coming back? To be honest, I think a lot of those ex WWE guys are gonna be the ones in this deal the least. I think they'll be the ones
Yep.
that really try to be the TNA people, while these younger or just newer people to, bigger audiences is going to be the main people moving over, like Nick
Yeah, I
Nemeth, the
mean,
Ali.
look at
I think. Hmm.
look at Mustafa Ali. He left
Hmm.
TNA, I believe,
Yeah,
when
because
they
of the
started
deal.
working with WWE. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think like a lot of those you know more disgruntled, you could say, ex WWE guys, I think we're gonna see less, and WWE would really have to build that trust with them again if they do get a lot of those people back.
Yep. But in contradictory to that, dude, we could be seeing the lifer back on WWE television.
That would be so bad. Oh man, he can't do it. For his sake, he can't do it. He gotta stand his ground, bro.
I mean, they released him. I don't think he had any beef with them.
I mean, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes with
Cause
him, man.
could see the lifer, bro.
We could
Could
see
see
the
the
life
lifer.
again.
So, regardless, man, that is everything for the WWE stories. Now, jumping over to the couple AEW stories we have, man. But before that, before we get on to what sure is going to be some interesting conversations, man, another thing that's very interesting that you guys should check out, man, W Energy. Very interesting. W Energy is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics, formulated for anybody looking to improve focus without getting the jitters. W Energy is a clean formula, man, sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase, the official sponsor of your boys here at NHP, man. So, as always, shout out W.
Bro, shout them out, man. Keep me awake during talking about AEW, watching AEW, all the sorts, man. So, truly, thank you, Dubby.
And with all of that, going back to Pentagon. Remember I told you guys we were gonna go back to Pentagon, man. Well, here we are. So, mm, okay. Okay, I thought I lost it. Okay. According to Lucha Libre Online, they're reporting several AEW talent do not feel comfortable with their role in the company. These talents did not consider nor dare to explore WWE as an alternative due to feeling of uncertainty of getting lost in the monster of the system that is WWE. Others, because they did not have the TV time and prominence in that roster that they would have wanted within their past stay in WWE. However, after seeing Penta's debut in WWE, that feeling of uncertainty is gone. Those talent understand. Those talent understand that the AEW brand, that having the AEW brand on their resume becomes a strength and negotiating chip that they can use to their advantage. With two of the talent confirming that they would explore free agency in 2025, specifically with WWE. Talent now feel more secure and confident in achieving success in WWE due to Triple H taking over and the change in culture and the range of opportunities presented to talent who have left AEW for WWE. See, this is pretty crazy to see, man. This is pretty crazy to see because this is going to probably piss Tony Khan off even more because we all know how much he hates feeling betrayed and feeling like people are jumping ship on him. So this is now going to be very interesting to see because a lot of these guys didn't want to go to WWE because they did not have prominence in AEW, or like it says some here, a lot of these guys didn't have prominence in their first stay with WWE. And now, after seeing Penta, a guy who was lost in the shuffle in AEW, now he's doing great for himself in WWE. At least night one went great in WWE. Now these people are looking to explore. So it's very interesting to see how I guess insecure their non-prominence on AEW makes a lot of these guys feel, which is very sad actually.
I feel
And
horrible for them.
it gets better when we with these Malachi Black stories, bro. But yeah, it looks like a lot of these guys who may have been insecure or not, had much confidence are now looking to Triple H to pull them out of Tony Khan's gutter, man. But how do you feel about this, man? How do you feel about this? And what do you think is to come for some of these guys that maybe didn't maybe were lost in the creative wasteland?
Boy, is that a creative wasteland. I mean, I definitely understand. I definitely understand the level of, hope that they gave people of seeing Penta debut like that. The crowd loved it. The company side loved it. And a lot of people were thinking, oh yeah, that could be me now, instead of fucking sitting at home just fucking waiting to get a call from Tony Khan that he remembers I exist. I could just go there
Oh,
and be a part of a better.
speaking of WWE, I'll tell you this now because I know you'll probably want to mention this. Did you hear those rumors that Tony Khan was very upset with anybody who tweeted out, being happy
Mm-hmm.
for Pentagon?
That's why almost no AEW people tweeted out their happiness for Tony Khan, for Penta, because Tony Khan wasn't gonna have that shit. I didn't know. A lot of people were mentioning that night. They're like, oh yeah, notice fucking no AEW people are tweeting about it,
Yep.
because they're probably fucking not allowed to, which is just,
Either that
who
or
does
they're
that sound
scared.
like? Or they're scared, exactly. Who does that sound like, man? But it's good and bad, I think, too, because at the end of the day, there is the idea of there's so many spots, only so many people can go there or go back, so many people can make it work. I mean, look at WWE. They're not perfect. They got people like Dragon Lee. They got people like, I mean, they people like Santos, people like Andrade. People, they aren't doing so well with overall. And there's only so many spots, so much creative to go around. I mean, there's a reason why AEW exist and should be good. You need two massive wrestling companies at the same time in this modern state, and that's why I really wish fucking AEW was good. Not just because I wish it was fucking good again, but in order to have a healthy fucking just system of pro wrestling, you need two at this point. And I think with the one AEW really going downhill and people wanting to jump off that ship, it's can be dangerous for both sides, man.
Yep.
It really can. So I get it. I
Hmm.
really do get it, but people got to realize how dangerous that is. And if AEW is not going to step back up, there needs to be a new player to step up and be that other man that can hold the balance of these rosters, man, because no one company can ever do it. And I hope that a lot of these guys and girls can realize that, man. But what do you think about all this?
Yeah, no, that's a great take. That's absolutely a great take. And yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. And that's why it sucks to see the state that AEW's in, because like you said, in order for the business to truly be healthy, man, there does need to be two promotions, bro. There does. And with a lot of them wanting to jump ship over to WWE, it's just it does get really tricky. It definitely does get really tricky in terms of just bloating rosters and whatnot. But um like I said, man, it's sad that a lot of them felt very insecure about, even looking at WWE, just because of their prominence on AEW television, man. But hopefully some of them do find a spot in WWE, but like you said, man, not everybody can go to WWE. So that's a
Mhm.
great that's very true. That is very true, man. But it's just it's nice. It's just nice to see, at least for some of the, you know more recent ones like Penta who have come over. It's nice to see that they are being treated well, and it's nice that that does give a lot of people more confidence in what they do, man. Because there's a ton of spots in NXT if they want them, but we'll just have to wait on that and see how that goes. But yeah, I mean it is it sucks to see for the people, like I said, that are insecure about their prominence on TV, but hopefully man, they can do what's best for them in free agency, whether that is staying with AEW or whether that is going to WWE. But and again, that's why it sucks that the position AEW is in, and for all the years of these AEW fans glazing the fuck out of Tony Khan and not telling him what was wrong with the product when he was willing to listen. Now he's not willing to listen to people anymore, and he's close to fucked in terms of just state of the company right now. So it sucks to see, man. It really does. But
Oh, it does.
um yeah, Swerve tweeting out was hilarious because Swerve knows
He's gonna
that
get into it.
yeah, Tony Khan needs him more than Swerve ever needed AEW, man. So
Mhm.
yeah. And they did make Swerve Strickland a star, bro, but don't get me
They did.
wrong. But
He could take that stardom somewhere else.
exactly. Now that they have made him a star, I would love to see Tony Khan fuck that up, which I'm sure he could. But
He could, but I don't want
um
him to.
speaking of Pentagon, Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix's merch has been pulled from Shop AEW. Fueling speculation about Phoenix's status in the company, Phoenix is still listed on the AEW roster page, on the official site, and Shop AEW, but clicking his name brings up a error 404 page not found screen. This, of course, comes days after Phoenix's brother, Pentagon, made his triumphant debut on WWE Raw with a win over Chad Gable, with Penta's merchandise already selling well for WWE, while Penta's deal expired in 2024, allowing him to jump ship. Phoenix is set to remain All Elite for a little while longer, with the company believed to have exercised injury time on Phoenix's contract due to time missed on the sidelines. Phoenix himself was vocal about his displeasure remaining under contract with AEW. How fucking bogus is this? Even in the prime Vince era,
He would have done some shit like that.
he would just put their shit on sale.
Yeah,
Dude,
he just clearance it out.
you can look on WWE Shop today. I think they still have shit for Matt Riddle up
I think they
on the
do.
website. It's just on clearance because why would you take it? This is a dude and Matt Riddle's not even under contract, bro. Phoenix is still on a deal. And that's really fucking shitty of the people of professional wrestling or pro wrestling tees. That's really shitty of them because even if they took him off Shop AEW, they could have at least kept him on PWTs, and they didn't even do that. They didn't even
Nope.
do that, bro. And that's really shitty of them. And that's really shitty of Tony Khan to do, being that, this could have been some nice extra money for Ray Phoenix to make while, he's not being fucking featured
No.
on television.
Mhm.
But now he can't even do that.
It, it just makes no sense, dude. It's just so fucked up. I mean, your brother debuted. He's making a lot of merch money. They're calling me for not being able to make that merch money with you guys. All right, no merch money. Like, dude, he's a literal child. Is Tony Khan, dude? It is so sad and just so fucked up to do that to someone that's gonna have to wait months longer, just sitting home doing nothing in your company.
Yep. And like you said, after all the people clowning on Tony Khan for missing out on merch money with the Lucha Bros, for him to completely pull the rug out and say, well, now nobody's making any merch money is really fucking childish of him, and just
Oh, that's so fucked up.
it's completely low, man. Like I
Mhm.
said, it's completely low for Tony Khan to do. And just as we have reached a lot of lows this year with Tony Khan, he continues to go even fucking lower, which is just, I mean, dude, you're asking for these guys. You know, who's to say when they get done with a WWE run, they didn't want to come finish
I
their
want to come
career out
back.
in AEW because they love the place so much? Maybe not. Maybe that would have been an option for them. You're completely eliminating the option of the Lucha Bros ever returning to your company, man. How fucking ridiculous. How ridiculous is Tony Khan for doing that to Ray Phoenix, bro?
Oh, it's insane. He's literally burning bridges that can only ever be rebuilt if he's not the one in charge. It's literally another Vince situation where you got the guy
Yes.
burning bridges, and the only way for, those bridges to be repaired is under a different regime. That is crazy work that he is achieving all that Vince McMahon level shit in the span of 3 years. This shit has been going on. This fuckery in this company has been going on, and it's not you're burning bridges, dude. They might have want to come back. You might have been able when Cody initially left. If you played your cards right, you had the opportunity to get Cody back at some point, and that's long gone now. You had it when he initially left, dude, and you fucking
Mm-hmm.
killed it. You killed so many comebacks and bridges. It's insane. Tony Khan has to be the worst businessman fucking ever.
For somebody who likes to trot about how good of a fucking businessman is, fuck a creative wasteland. This is a creative wasteland and a fucking
Mhm.
business wasteland. And just wait till we get to Grand Slam Australia. But before that, according to Fightful Select, Megan Bain has been signed to AEW for quite some time, according to AEW sources.
We'll sign ya. We won't have anything to do with you. You know what? We got a spot for your debut. You're gonna come in, you're gonna lose, we're probably gonna send you to ROH. How about that? What, why would you sign? Personally, I don't know why people are signing at this point.
You, here's another one that you're signing just to fucking sign, and she's not going to
Mhm.
do anything. You just put her on Dynamite. She didn't even make too crazy of an impact on Dynamite. Eh, and now she's, according to this, she's been signed. Why has she been signed? You haven't done anything with her.
You couldn't release some teaser vignettes, film something, hype something up, nothing. Just we signed you. We'll call you when we figure it out. Good lord.
Why would you sign her, bro? I mean, nothing against her, but like, what the
No,
fuck?
it's them. It's them. Like, how are you signing people with no plan? What are you doing here, man?
I don't know. Another fucking AEW signing, and it's going to absolutely go nowhere and elevate absolutely nobody.
Yep.
I didn't even know who the fuck she was. They just trotted her out there. I
Like, expect me to know, and I don't fucking know because I don't watch the fucking indies, dude. I'm sorry. Fucking hate me. I don't watch it. You have to tell me who these people is to some extent.
According to Fightful Select, Christopher Daniels is now likely, effectively, retired from in-ring
No,
competition. Daniels'
no.
Texas Death Match versus Adam Page is supposed to serve as Daniels' last match. I'll tell you what, if that was how he went out in that
Good.
feud with Hangman, what a way to go out.
What
One of
the
the
fuck?
most goaded attacks ever. Hangman!
When he goes up
Ah!
there and just jumps on his back and just starts fucking beating him up. Fucking yells his name as he's lunging towards him. Horrible segment. What a fucking what a sad way to go out, bro.
It was a
You're
great way to
going
go
out
out.
on Collision. What a way to go out on fucking Collision. Good lord. Wish him the best, man, but holy shit. Should have been a coach. Should have
Coach.
been
Yeah,
a, should have been a fucking coach.
CD, I wish CD the best, and I hope he settles into his talent relations role, and I hope he actually starts. Doing great in his talent relations role, because it's his first couple years, his first 5 years in the position have been fucking rocky, to say the least. And
Oh yeah.
I wish him the best on retirement, and he had a great career, and what a way to go out, man. Amen. Goated.
Lord,
Goated
bro.
fucking segment for a goated
Good
last feud.
lord.
But congrats to CD nonetheless. And please,
Mhm.
please hone your skills on please, for the love of God, hone your skills in talent relations.
Maybe that's how he answers the phone calls. Hey man. So we got you scheduled up for this. Like, uh,
All right.
oh,
AEW Grand Slam. According to AEW, Grand Slam Australia will not be a pay-per-view rather than a special episode in place of Collision. It was announced on Wednesday's Dynamite that it will air on TNT and Max. In Collision's usual time slot, it will also air on tape delay, which AEW has recently been under some scheduling conflict. They've been under some scheduling conflict with the NBA, because on February 15th at that exact time, 8 o'clock Eastern, they will be airing All-Star Saturday Night, which means AEW Grand Slam could possibly be airing around 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time, which will be on a 21-hour tape delay. Are you fucking kidding me?
so let me get this straight.
Okay.
You get this idea for a show. Australia, big crowd. It was originally their plan was to make it a Max exclusive, first Max exclusive, whatever. You have to fucking downsize the arena because you're not selling tickets. Boom, first hit. And then it's not a Max fucking, exclusive or whatever. It's gotta be on television. Boom, another hit. Instead of maybe replacing a Dynamite, or just making it its own night or something, you make it a fucking a replacement Collision, another hit, and the final nail in the coffin hit is you fucking set it up to be on the same weekend as a big NBA thing, to where you have to go on after it, fucking on a delay at damn near at past midnight. Holy fuck, dude. Dude, the rating for that, I cannot wait. I can't wait.
You fucking morons. Why the fuck don't you just air it live on Max and
And like,
fuck TNT at that point? I mean, or if you wanted to air it on TNT, air it in the fucking afternoon. But dude,
Aaron,
you've immediately killed all hype for this show, dude. You're gonna do damn near a 24-hour tape delay. Nobody's gonna fucking watch because everybody's gonna fucking know what the fuck happened.
you're gonna see that fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Up, yep, fucking she won. Shocker. And then fucking you gotta wait 12 hours to watch the fucking show. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like you said, either do it in the afternoon, which people like those shows, or you fucking why can't it be on TBS instead? I just don't understand it. I don't understand none of it. Tony Khan gotta be the worst businessman ever, dude. He's got to be.
This is an absolutely fucking boneheaded decision to a show that initially had hype when you announced it. You did no promoting. And at this fucking rate, you might as well just cancel this shit, dude. 21-hour tape delay. What the
21
fuck?
hours.
For our final story here today, Malachi Black. According to PW Torch, although most assumptions are that Malachi Black will return to WWE, Black told some people in AEW within the last year or two that he was burnt out and wanted some time away perhaps even mentioning potentially retiring. Remember when Tony Storm was going to retire from
Mm-hmm.
WWE and they were the evil place that made people want to retire?
Look how the fucking tables have turned.
Well, I guess Tony Khan's giving him his fucking break now. Before he inevitably goes back to WWE. What a joke. With this, Malachi Black was criticized by his colleagues within AEW who were frustrated by the perception that he was resistant to doing business, including a reluctance to doing jobs and frequent claims of injury issues. Many were happy to see Malachi Black leave the company. Many talent were happy to see Malachi Black leave the company, as Black and Tony Khan never developed a rapport. Good fucking God.
Man, almost retired, bro. Oh, man.
He almost retires, and Malachi Black was resistant to doing business. Well, let me ask you something. How the fuck
Mhm.
could he do business if he was never on fucking television?
How
Maybe
could he
if
do it?
Tony Khan put some stock and some loyalty into him, maybe Black would say, hey, down the line, I want to put this guy over in a big way. Why would he stick his neck out for you if you've basically treated him as a jobber?
Yeah. I wouldn't fucking stick my neck out for you. Or would people be complaining if it was the other company? Or people, let's say Dragon League ends up leaving WWE. You think the AEW fans are going to be like, well, he should have done more for the company if he wanted to be pushed? They're never going to say that. But when it's their company, they're going to fucking say that shit.
Completely fucking ridiculous, man. Completely ridiculous. And it just, again, Tony, I, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there was never a report built with those two. Why? Why? Why is Tony not talking to his talent? Why is he not building reports with people?
Why does he not have a team building report? Why is it Tony
Yeah,
Khan? Why is there not a team building
true.
reports with people? It shouldn't even fucking be Tony Khan in the first place. It should be your team. That's what you had your EVPs for. That's why things
Yep.
worked in the beginning. You had your EVPs. Oh, they did the tag. They did singles. They did this. Boom. Thanks. I'll go through it overall, yes and no things, but you guys overall run the creative. No, everything goes through Tony Khan. Why do you think everything with this company fucking sucks nowadays?
Yeah.
Because it goes through the guy that doesn't know what he's doing.
And it shouldn't be on Malachi to build a fucking report. When Tony brings him in, he thinks he's going to be treated like a top star, and then all of a sudden he's treating you like some fucking jobber. I wouldn't want to
Yeah,
build a report with you either if you treated me like
no,
that.
you
I
fucking
mean,
lied to me. You scammed me. Out of fucking year, out of time, you scammed me out of the most valuable thing in the world, time. That's what you scammed me out of.
yep. According to PW Torch, there are influential people in WWE who are big fans of Malachi Black and see him as a possible top singles act in the company.
No way. What fucking anybody with a brain would think. They think. Look at that.
Yep, and according to the newsletter, WWE is reportedly discussing creative ideas for Malachi Black, but the exact date his AEW contract expires is unknown. I'll tell you this. WWE's coming up with creative plans because WWE knows when his day with AEW is up.
Oh, they know it.
Yes, they do. Um yeah, I mean like Bell says Bell says herself, bro, Triple H has got him. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, God
Triple
made
H is
that.
you can start writing creative for this guy, and again, he's not even contracted with the company yet because he's going to the fucking company, man. And it's a shame what Tony Khan did to him. It's nice to see that they view him as a top singles act because that's what he should be treated as, and that's what he should have been treated as his whole fucking 4 years in AEW, whatever it was. He should have been treated like that in AEW, and he wasn't. And Tony Khan's gonna learn the hard way, like he learned with Pentagon again, and like he learned with everybody that's jumped ship over to WWE. You dropped the ball again. And you dropped the ball when they were in your company, and I guess now you're finally going to learn when they jump to the other company. How many times are you going to let WWE capitalize on your fuck-ups, is my
Yeah, it
question.
keeps happening, and they'll keep blaming it on the talent and make all the excuses in the world, and it's never gonna change, dude.
No, it never will. It never
Nope.
fucking will, man. And that's why AEW's in the position that they're in now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that is everything here today for this edition of the news, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today for this edition of the news. And with that, yeah, that's everything we got here today for you guys, man. It has been always, always, always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the news. Thank you guys so very much, man. This has been episode 249. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys, everybody who came out in the live chat. Thank you guys to everybody as part of the Replay Mafia. My guys, JTJB, as well as Bell, Hunter, Gotti, Lonnie. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. Thank you guys so very much. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all on Monday with NHP Unscripted.
Peace.